Hey guys, what is up? I'm about to head to a photo shoot, but I just got some new lenses in the mail that I'll definitely be using throughout the shoot. And I wanted to sit, talk about them, kind of unbox them with you guys, discuss kind of why I got them, and then I'll show you some photos I shot with them. I'm gonna put you down so we can unbox it together. I feel like I'm always curious as to why photographers are buying certain lenses, what they're looking to do with them. I'm just kind of nosy and I wanna know if someone just bought a lens that might be useful for the photos that I take. So I'm gonna set you up on this little tripod right here and we can get right into it. I really feel like one of those unboxing YouTubers right now. So here are the two lenses. Right here I have the Nikon Z 70-200mm f2.8 lens. And then over here I have the Nikon fisheye 8-15mm f3.5-4.5 lens. And these two lenses right here have been lenses that I've been looking into for a while now. They've been on my radar and something I've been wanting to add to my kit. It's obviously not every day that I'm adding in new lenses or camera bodies to my overall gear, but the feeling of getting a new lens is so exciting and it feels really re-inspiring almost, because lenses can really change up the overall look and feel of your shot and almost lead me in the direction of a photo, especially with something like a fisheye that has such a distorted, unique look. So now let's get into the unboxing. First, we're gonna go ahead and open the Nikon Z 70-200mm. So I'm putting the little fisheye to the side for now. I've been loving using my 24-70mm f2.8 lens, and this really just felt like the next step in my kind of relationship with zoom lenses. Oh my gosh, okay, here we go. This lens feels so nice, like it's definitely a little bit, not even heavy, it has some weight to it, but it's just so pretty, oh my god. So this lens is actually really unique in the fact that it's a zoom lens that doesn't actually physically zoom. With the 24-70mm that I can't stop talking about, that lens physically zooms, so you can see it in real time as to which millimeter that you're, pushing it to. But with this lens, it does all of that internally. And that's also the reason for its large size. And I actually looked into why it could be beneficial to have a lens that doesn't physically zoom. And for one, it won't rotate on you unexpectedly. And then second thing, it won't capture all of that kind of dirt and dust within the inside of where it would zoom. And I have noticed with my other lens that does zoom that it feels a little dirty because there's just a lot of space for things to get caught inside of it. So the first ring here, the smaller one, is for the focus, while the larger one is for zooming. It also has this metal tripod mount, which is removable. And I know that obviously when you increase your millimeters, the lenses and the weight of it just increases. So I'll see when I'm shooting today if this kind of mount here is comfortable or if I want to take it off and shoot without it. And adding this lens to my bag is gonna really come in handy when I'm shooting things like landscapes or wildlife or concerts. I think I always kind of introduce myself as a portrait photographer for people that maybe ask what I do, but I also love to shoot things aside from that. I love attending festivals and concerts, but I also do like shooting them as well. And I really look up to a few photographers that I follow on Instagram that do a really great job at capturing portraits at concerts, and I used to wonder what lenses they were using because the photos were so up close and personal of the artist, but obviously they weren't really that close up in real life. And this is definitely a popular lens within the kind of concert photography world. So I'm excited for the day that I can shoot a concert with this lens. But I also think it could come in handy for portraits as well, like I'll be shooting today. You increase the millimeter size, it starts to look really flattering when you're taking photos of a person. So let's see how this does on the shoot. know this before I do because I'm shooting later today, but I hope the photos came out good with that lens. Moving on though, we have the fisheye lens from Nikon, and this is the 8 to 15 millimeter f3.5 to 4.5. And I was a little bit confused about the zoom range on this, but on one end of the zoom, it creates this really distorted fisheye effect where there's black borders along the corners of the image, so it's almost just like a complete circle. Whereas the other end, you don't get any of those black borders, you just get a very fisheye distorted look. I've really been wanting a fisheye lens for years now. I've even went so far as to rent one for a few days on a shoot because I just find them really interesting. I think it just took me a second to actually get one myself because of the fact that it's so unique and it might not come in handy that often. I just got to a point where I'll be on a photo shoot and the styling or the location or the model would just go and pair so well with this lens that I needed to get it. And just like the 70 to 200 millimeter is now my highest millimeter lens, this is actually now my lowest millimeter lens with the 8 to 15 millimeters on this. So not only is this really great for those kind of funky, unique looking photos, but it's also really great for tight spaces because of the millimeter. The next step I have up from this is a 20 millimeter, and that is also really great for tight spaces, so I can't imagine just how much this can capture in such a close range. I can also really appreciate the 3.5 to 4.5 aperture on this. I feel like that will still allow me to shoot in pretty low lit situations. It's also weather sealed and super durable, something I'm really never worried about with Nikon products. But you may have noticed something a little bit different about this lens compared to the last one, especially within the boxes itself, and that is that this is designed for DSLR cameras. I started out in photography shooting with cameras like the 5200. I moved on to other DSLR cameras like the D750 and the D850, but more recently within the past few years, I've only really shot with mirrorless cameras. I'm shooting with a mirrorless camera right now. It's the Nikon ZFC. So realistically, this lens and my mirrorless cameras are not compatible until they are, because I went ahead and added on the Nikon FTZ2 mount adapter onto this. So this really serves as a bridge between Nikon's F mount and Z mount systems. So it allows photographers to still use their existing F mount lenses on their mirrorless cameras without any issues at all. And this adapter here is really a huge reason why I didn't feel hesitant to update to mirrorless gear, because I could still use all the previous lenses that I had already invested in. So it retains all the lenses already existing key functions like the autofocus, aperture control, and image stabilization. I have my 35mm lens that I still use to this day is an F-mount lens, but I use it all the time on my Nikon Z7 II or my Nikon ZF, and that's because I have this adapter along with it. So really, this fisheye lens is actually even smaller than it looks because I have the adapter on it, but this will remain on it because of all of the mirrorless gear that I use. All right, so now let's get into the shooting portion of the fisheye lens. I hope you guys enjoy the results. that was all the photos that I shot with this fisheye lens. I hope you guys really enjoyed the unboxing portion and then also getting to see me shoot with these lenses. Let me know in the comments below if you preferred the photos from the 70 to 200 millimeter lens or the fisheye one. They're so different that it's probably hard to kind of compare the two together, but let me know. I also hope this was sort of informative maybe to you if you were considering getting one of these lenses. I would definitely recommend either of these two. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to Nikon once again for working with me on this video. And also I have a ton of fun, exciting new stuff coming up with Nikon, so stay tuned as to what that is. I'm super hyped to share it all. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. It's @BrandonWolfel, and I'll see you guys soon.